Hey everybody. This is a little different. We're coming straight from my bedroom because I'm too tired to get up, but God wants me to talk to you guys. So, I was doing my 8 o'clock dedication to God, and I was like, just reading, and I was reading in Kings. I was in Kings chapter 2, 2 Kings chapter 2, and it was about hi everybody. It was about Solomon becoming king and David passing away, and Solomon was becoming king. So I was reading that, and God was just like, start from the beginning, start from the beginning. So hi everybody. So as I'm getting told start from the beginning, I'm thinking, okay, I'll go back to First Kings, like, and God was like, no, from the beginning of the Bible. So I was like, okay. And he was like, so many people are Bible hopping because they don't know where to start. So they're trying to start anywhere. And it's not bad because you're trying to reach out to God. Hi. It's that you're going to get confused in your walk with God if you just start anywhere in the Bible because you don't know the beginning. And so the people that are in the Bible are going to be misconstrued, and it's going to be a little confusing when it comes to actually figuring out who God is and the lineage that was there and all that stuff. So you're welcome, honey. Good evening. So God was basically saying that for everyone that's new to him, he wants you to start from the beginning. I can give you plenty of chapters to go to that are really good, but to get the meat and potatoes of what God is and who he is to literally go back to the beginning and sit with God and figure out who you are. Because when I look at Genesis, I think about who I am. And this is who God formed you to be. And it just gives you so much juiciness of the craftsmanship God took when he made you. And as I sat here and I read Genesis 1 again, and I was sitting here and I was like, okay, God, I hear you. He took his time with you. He handcrafted you. He handcrafted me. And then God said, I need you to also let them know what else accompanied me when I was making the world. And if you don't know, wisdom was with God, because it's the spirit of wisdom. Wisdom was with God when he was making the foundation of the earth. So before God formed us and everything, wisdom was sitting right with God, helping create the world as well. And when you get into Proverbs basically tells you about wisdom. If you ever want to be wise, if you ever just want to be like, God, how can I be more wise? Just like Solomon did the prayer, you can go to Proverbs and it will break it down for you. And plain and simple, wisdom literally just says, get wisdom. Because wisdom is a spirit, and she cries out in the alleyways and from the mountaintops, and she just asks, do you want wisdom? But if you turn your back, she's going to turn her back against you too. Yes, wisdom is a spirit, and yes, it's a she. It states it in Proverbs over and over again, like she wants her credibility. And she says, when you get me, I will put a crown upon your head. I will give you everything that you're asking for. I just need you to want me just like I want you. And it's just like God. God is going to give you everything if you seek him first. If you seek God first, he's going to provide everything else. Everything else is going to be added to you if you seek him first. They just want to be wanted. So wisdom and God coincide together. They literally live together. It's one, you can't get one without the other. You can get God, but you don't have wisdom, and you're going to fumble the bag. In order to be successful, you have to have one and the same. You have to have God and you have to have wisdom. God can give you $1 million and you don't have wisdom and you waste it. But God can give you $1 million and you have wisdom and you're able to attain it, sustain it, and grow it. There's a difference in someone that just gets the money and fumbles it and someone that gets the money and magnifies it. There's a way to do that. And the way to do that is to have God and wisdom together, not separate, but together. You can have wisdom but don't have God, so you can be smart and not anointed, and all the favor that comes with God, you're not going to get that with wisdom. You can't have God without wisdom because you go fumble the bag. They have to go together. They have to mesh well together. And it's already written. You have to have both. And wisdom is boastful. Wisdom tells about everything that she's going to do for you when you get her. When you get wisdom, she's bragging about what's going to happen. Through me, I anoint kings. I bestow crowns upon your head. I'm more than rubies and diamonds and this and that. Like she's very boastful. She brags about what she's going to do for you because she's happy about what happens when you get her. Have you ever been in a room with someone wise? You don't want to out-talk them. You just want to pull up a chair and sit for a second. And just sit. When you're in the room with somebody very wise, you don't want to mess that up. You want to take notes. You don't want to be the loudest person. You want to be quiet as a mouse and just take notes on it. And just sit there. And then your life just starts changing because you can feel the spirit of wisdom upon that wise person. And you know, I ain't got time to play. God got this person and they got the master plan. And I need to sit down and take notes. And that's what you have to do when you need wisdom. When you're truly upon somebody that has wisdom, not people that around here and act like they got it. When you're truly in the room with someone that has wisdom, it is quiet as a mouse. You can hear a pin drop in there because wisdom is speaking. And you bet your bottom dollar the wise people that want to be wise is getting ready to listen. So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to start with Genesis. And you guys sit tight because we're just going to read. And this is for people who haven't read Genesis. And even if you did, just come in for a refresher. Because God is saying every Bible verse that you're going to is good. But if you don't know where you started from, it's not going to be anything good. So he said, Lindaria, I need you to sit with my people and I need you to simply read to them. And if I have something to say, I would say it. So you guys, I'm going to read to you. Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So the evening and the morning were the first day. Then God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Thus God made the firmament, and he divided the waters which under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. So the evening and morning was the second day. Then God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, let the earth bring forth grass, and the herb that yields seeds, and the fruit trees that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seeds in itself on earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and the herb that yields seeds according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruits, whose seed in itself according to its own kind. And God saw it, and it was good. So the evening and the morning there was on the third day. Then God said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide day and from the night, and let them be signs for the seasons, and for the days, and for the years. And let them be for the lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light on earth. And it was so. Then God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. And he made the stars also. God said to them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the fourth day. Then God said, let the waters abound with the abundance of living creatures, and let the birds fly above the earth across the face of the firmament of the heavens. God created the great sea creatures and every living thing that moves, with which waters abounded according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the seas, and fill the water in the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth. So the evening and the morning was the fifth day. Then God said, let the earth bring forth the living creatures according to its kind, cattle and creeping things, and the beasts of the earth, each according to his own kind. And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth according to its kind, the cattle according to its kind, and everything that creeps on earth according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, let us make man in our own image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and the cattle on the earth, and every creeping thing that creeps on earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Then God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over everything that moves on earth. And God said, see, I have given you herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed, to you shall be its food. Also to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the air, and everything that creeps on earth in which there is life, I have given them every green herb for food. And it was so. Then God saw that everything he had made, and indeed it was very good. So the evening and the morning was the sixth day. Thus says the heavens and the earth, and all the hosts on them were finished. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. Then God blessed them on the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which he had created. Then God said, I need you to go to Proverbs, because I need them to know who else was with me. So I went to Proverbs 8. And I went straight to, I guess I'm going to go to Proverbs 8, and I'll start with 21. So Proverbs 8 and 21. That I may cause those who love me to inherit wealth, that I may fill their treasures. The Lord possessed me at the beginning of his way, before the works of his own. I have been established from everlasting, from the beginning, before there was ever an earth. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding in the waters, before the mountains were settled, before the hills, I was brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth or the fields or the primal dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep, when he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountains of the deep, when he assigned the sea to its limit, so that the waters would not transgress, his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth. Then I was beside him as a master craftsman, as I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in his inhabited world, and my delight was with the Son of Men. Now therefore, listen to me, my children, for blessed are those who keep my ways. Hear my instructions and be wise, and do not disdain it. Blessed is the man who listens to me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. For whoever finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. But he who sins against me wrongs his own soul. All those who hate me love death. Wisdom has built her house, and she has out her 7 pillars, and she has slaughtered her meat, and she has mixed her wine, also has furnished her table. She has sent out her maidens, and she cries from the highest places out of the city. Whoever is simple, let him turn in here. As for him who lacks understanding, she says to him, come, eat of my bread and drink of my wine I have mixed. Forsake foolishness and live, and go in the way of understanding. He who corrects a scoffer shames himself, shame for himself, and he who rebukes a wicked man only harms himself. Do not correct a scoffer, lest he hate you. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love you. Give instructions to a wise man, and he will be wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase his learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For by me your days will be multiplied, and years of your life will be added to you. If you are wise for yourself. Listen, God and wisdom are one. They are one. You can't have one without the other. You have to have both. And if you want to start somewhere in the Bible, I implore you to start in Genesis. I can give you every Bible verse if you want this, and that. But to get the understanding of the Bible is to start in Genesis. There's no microwave blessing that you can come across until you go to the beginning. You can't just start getting a little bit of miracles happen and then forget God. You can't keep just getting what you want and then turning away. You can't manipulate God. You can't just write a scripture on your hand and just say, this is what it is. You have to go in the beginning. You have to do the hard work. When you go to the beginning, you're going to see your life change like never before. You're going to look through life through a different set of lenses, because you're going to be looking at like, oh, I didn't know all of this was happening. And then it's almost like God is writing a love story. When I read Genesis, it's literally God telling you how much he loves you. I can tell you to go to Proverbs and read it all and just be the wisest person in the world. I can tell you to go to Psalms and go to war with the devil, because David wrote his war stories and he wrote love stories to God, and that's the best way to defeat the enemy. But I can tell you, if you want to sit with God and have God smile and hear his voice and just hear him chuckling, go to Genesis and start reading. And read it to comprehend it. There's a difference. There's comprehension and there's reading. When you comprehend it, you obtain it, you understand it, you sit with it. When you read it, you just read it. But when you read it to comprehend it, you're reading it to understand it and to retain what God is saying. So I need you to read the Bible to comprehend it, to obtain it, and to just get God and his glory. And watch what God starts doing for you. He'll literally start speaking to you, singing to you. You will hear his voice ministering to you, because you're about to embark on a journey called life with God. There's no microwave blessing in this Bible. Everybody in here goes through something. A just man rises up 7 times and falls. He falls 7 times but rises up 8. A just man will fall down 7 times, but he will get back up. And when he gets back up, he's going to tell you how he fell, because how else would you know that the just man fell if it wasn't a public display, or if someone wasn't there to see it, or if he didn't just tell his story? It's very important that you get your story out, because your story can help pull somebody else out. It's okay if you fall, but it's not okay if you just lay there. When we fall, we have the ability to get back up. We're not supposed to stay there. We're meant to continue to rise back up. And each time you rise back up is another time for the devil to look stupid. Yeah, you thought that you knocked me down. You thought that I was going to stay there. You dug a ditch, you threw me in it, and you thought that I was going to stay there. Silly you, devil. Silly you. Because each time you knock me down, I get stronger and I rise back up. You're not going to go anywhere until God tells you to go. You're not going to fail. You're going to continue to rise back up. Go to Genesis tonight. What, baby?
You forgot.
I'll do it in a minute. Go to Genesis tonight. Sit with Genesis and read it. And when I say read to comprehend, read to obtain, read to sustain everything that is in there. And right after Genesis, let me tell you another beautiful story. You have Exodus. You have Exodus. And you're going to see what God will do for his children. When you get done with Genesis, you're going to have the beautiful love story and rescue story of Exodus. And you're going to see that God will part the Red Sea. God will move heaven and earth for his children. God is going to tell you a story, and I don't care what you're facing in life, God is going to show you in Exodus that he is the impossible. In fact, in Exodus, God says, I am that I am. I don't care who the king is you're facing. I don't care what giant you're facing. God says, go tell him that I am that I am. That's all you need to tell your problems. That's all you need to tell the enemy. That's all you need to tell the demons that's at war with you. That God said that I am that I am. And you can take that to the bank. And you can take that to the bank. You can be facing the impossible, and God is going to show you that he is the impossible, that he is the I am possible. So read Genesis, move. Read Genesis, then go see your love story, Exodus, and you're going to see that God is going to move heaven and earth for you. And if you want to go to Proverbs and just get an understanding of who wisdom is, read all of Proverbs 8 tonight and watch her brag and boast about everything that she's going to do for you when you obtain her. So I'm getting ready to sign off, but that's y'all homework tonight. You got Genesis, you got Exodus, and then you have Proverbs 8. And you're going to see the love story and that God is your Savior, and you're going to see how much he loves you. There's no microwave blessings. I can't give you the key to success without giving you the substance that you need to attain God. I'm not just going to give you no major thing out here to do, or go over here, go over there. Go to the beginning. Go to where it started. Go to the beginning and see how much your Father loves you. And then go to Exodus and see what he's going to do when the enemy rises up against you. And see what he's going to do when everything looks like it's against the wall. See when he part a Red Sea for his children. I love you guys. I pray that this was a blessing to someone. And I pray that this ministered to your soul. And I pray that you guys can read it, and read it to comprehend it, and to sustain it, and to retain it. So have a blessed night, you guys.